Right. Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den. This is episode number 181 and today is Wednesday, November 16th, 2016. My name's Denise and I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. Those are the two main social media sites that I use. And I am on Facebook, but just you'd have PM me if you want to friend me and we're not friends already on there, because it's kind of hard to find me under my name. I think my the URL has got numbers after my name and I'd have to look it up. You can also contact me by email, and I'm going to put that up here for you. It's dschultz46@gmail.com. And as I said, I'm Knitting Den on Ravelry. You can PM me on there whenever you would like, if you need to or you want to. And should you want to do it the old-fashioned way, again, snail mail, love getting it, but you'd have to PM me so that I can pass on my address. And anyone that does like snail mail and wants to drop me a line, I would love to hear from you. And I do promise that I would return the... all right, I'm already stuck for the word. But I would write you back, is what I'm trying to say. So, it's been a while. I feel like it's been a long while, and I have given it a lot of thought whether or not I would get back to sitting down and podcasting. I did just leave a message in our Ravelry group a few days ago and said the top and bottom of it all. It's well, the question is, did I want to sit down and podcast and chat about my knitting? And of course, I'm here, so the answer to that was yes. I've really missed sitting down with you. I think of you all as friends, and I have missed you. And I apologise for kind of going, MIA for quite a while this year. I don't have to promise I'll be here every week. I know you understand if I'm not, and we're not going to think that far ahead yet. I'm here now because I want to be, and I'm looking forward to sitting down and chatting with you. So, before we get straight into knitting, I'm going to do Girly Chatter this week is going to be catch up on what's been going on, rather than, spend half an hour chatting about it at the beginning. And before we get into finished objects and works in progress, I've got a couple of prizes to give away. And they are from a few months back. The last time I recorded, I had opened a thread for Christmas in July knit along, and I had suggested, or I had said, I'm going to give away a Kiki Boo bag once a month, and I'd opened a thread for that. So I don't want to just ignore the fact that I kind of disappeared after that, and I didn't award those prizes to anyone. So I'm going to do it now. I've only given away a bag for the July knit along and a bag for the monthly knit along. I drew those earlier with random number generator, and the Christmas in July prize was the first one I did. There was 27 entries, so I hope it was a good start to your Christmas knitting, your gift knitting. 27 entries, and the number that came out was number 13, and that is Kathy Ann. Hi Kathy Ann, congratulations, and you get to pick a Kiki Boo bag. I think you said in your comment that you liked the medium-sized wedge. It doesn't have to be that one. But contact me, let me know what you would like. And I don't know whether or not you want to just tell me a colour that you like, or if there's something specific you want. If I haven't got the fabric and it's something you've always wanted, let me know, and maybe I can look around for the fabric. It's one of the things I enjoy when I'm getting to sew bags, is searching around for fun new fabric. So contact me, Kathy Ann, once you see this, and I know you're probably one of the first ones watching. So I hope that's a nice surprise for you, and we'll get on trying to make that with, I want to do it quite quickly. So you contact me, hopefully I'll get your bag out within 2 weeks. It's a lot sooner if I can. And then the second giveaway, which was just the monthly drawing. And again, I think I'm going to just say I'm giving away a drawstring bag once a month, so that that way I usually, in the past, I've either had it made or I've said I'm going to make one. This first time, I think I'm going to give the winner their choice. Again, whether you want medium wedge, drawstring, small wedge, something like that, I'm going to give you the choice, and we'll chat about it when you get in touch with me, and I'll create one just for you. And then after that, I'd like to give away a monthly bag, but I think to make it easier for me, I'm going to just, and I keep looking at them, sorry, I'm going to just say, hey, I'm giving this drawstring bag away, and then I'll pull a name, for the bag each month. But it'll be made, and that way, once you contact me, I can just get it in the mail for you and not get behind on doing custom orders, so to speak. So with that said, the monthly drawing for a Kikiboo bag went to number 3. I don't know if I made a note of how... Oh, yes, there was 74. Excuse me. So number 3 came up, and that is Molly Munch. And so, hi. And I know Molly's not your first name, and I forgot because, I'm kind of a bit rusty at this. But do contact me on Ravelry, and we'll chat about getting a bag made for you as well. So that is just my way of saying thanks for joining me whenever I do the podcast. I'd like to just share a bag with someone once a month, spread a little joy, so to speak. All right, looking at my notes, because as I said, I feel a bit rusty. We're going to jump straight into finished objects. Now, you'd think I'd have a ton of them because I've been gone quite a few months, but I actually don't have that many because I think I kind of lost my knitting mojo, well, the first half of the first part of the year, and I've kind of got back into it in the past couple of months. So I've only got 3 things to show you right now. Well, maybe it's 4. And I couldn't find my sock blockers. I was going to say snock blockers, sorry. It's just the words, they just pop into my head and then make me laugh because I know I'm saying them wrong. I think I brought these, but I think I showed you these the last time we podcast. They're bright and beautiful. This was a pair of socks with yarn that I'd won from the February Florida retreat, knitting retreat with Sock Bunny. And I promise I'm going to get really good at this. I'm going to share with you the yarn and, the dye and websites and whatever. But not with these, because I just grabbed them to show you, and I haven't got all the information with me. It'll be on my Ravelry page. But look at that. How about that for matching? Ooh, there you go. Is that matching? Except for that little bit at the top. It kind of, they matched pretty well. And I think someone mentioned that they remind us of Nemo. And I think it's the big orange stripe because he's not got green and blue on him. But I think I'd show you them. So moving on. The last time I podcast, and I've worn these, and you can tell already because I wear my socks with some slippers, and the slippers are like fleecy inside, and I think that's what starts to make them pill. So the last time I was recording, I'd finished one sock and had the second sock either halfway done, I think. So this was with Opal yarn, and again, don't have the ball band with me, but I will get better at doing that. These were my first Opal socks, and as I said before when I was telling you about them, I'd heard great things about Opal yarn for socks. It's not the softest yarn, and of course I haven't hand washed these yet, and I haven't even blocked them or anything, so they're not the softest sock, but apparently they are, I think, pretty hard wearing when it comes to you know, heels and stuff like that. I tend to get, I don't like to admit it, but I sometimes get holes in my heels. I'm not I'm picking all this lint off. I'm not one for taking very good care of my socks, if I admit it. I need to do better with that as well. But, so, and again, I don't really care if my socks match, so I just kind of start wherever the yarn is going to, you know, be for the next second sock that I cast on. But look, I see, I have to pull all this off. If you've got any tips on caring for your socks, or should I not wear them with slippers? I don't know. I don't really wear them out with shoes and boots on. I tend to wear my socks around the house, which is why I should really get into knitting more of the next sock that I'm going to show you. But any tips on keeping your socks nice? Do share. So, excuse me. Oh, let me adjust myself. Next up is another pair of socks, and see, I've just kind of grabbed everything, and I don't have the ball band either with me, but I got this yarn in England, and I knit another pair of socks which I really love, and these are, it's DK, excuse me, it's DK weight yarn. So this is what I mean about, these are the kind of socks I kind of like just to hang around the house in. They're thicker, I obviously wouldn't put them on with a boot. So the yarn I got in England in it is Serdar, I think that's how I pronounce it, and it's called Crofter DK. I think that's what it is. You can get different colours. I do have a green that I might obviously do more socks with. DK weight, and again, I can't really tell you a lot about it because I didn't have the ball band with me. Next week I think I'm going to be much better at doing all of this. I've got to find everything I need. But because this is DK weight, I cast on with a size 4, US 4 needle. And I do magic loop most of the time now, in fact all of the time when I'm knitting socks. So these are kind of scrunchy, if you know what I mean. Scrunchy socks are meant to like just fall, which they do nicely. I just did a 2x2 rib at the top where I did the twisted cast on, and I never can, I wish this would focus like some people's cameras do, but they came out really well. It was just a vanilla pattern. 48 stitches is what I cast on for DK weight yarn, and as I said, a US 4. And I think when I'm doing the heel, I often oh no, I did follow, let me get this right, I did follow a DK weight yarn, DK weight sock pattern on Ravelry, and I think it was something like easy socks or simple sock pattern. It's in my Ravelry, on my Ravelry page, and I followed that for the amount of stitches I did for the heel. But everything, you know, the structure of it and everything's just a gusset heel. It's like every other sock really. If I'm doing top down, it's usually the gusset heel. So that's 3 pairs of socks, and the first pair was probably a while ago. Let me move this. My main finished object, this is, and again, I didn't bring the pattern or anything with me. I do have a bag here, and I have not put the pattern in, but I did a sweater, and if you're on Instagram, you've seen this. It's a sweater with, again, it's Serdar. I should have written all this down, I'm sorry. Again, it's in my Ravelry page. It's just acrylic yarn, this. And the reason I decided to use acrylic is because every time I knit myself a garment, a sweater, cardigan, whatever, when I'm using natural fibres, if it's got a lot of wool in it, I find it quite itchy and prickly and I end up not wearing what I've knit. So I decided I'm going to knit totally all acrylic. And saying that now, I think this might be a mixture of something, but majority of it was acrylic. It's really nice and soft. I did use a pattern. It's a king cole pattern. It's got a lacy little border around the bottom, and the sleeves, he's going to start barking because the dog's barking over there. The sleeves did have the lacy pattern up, but I didn't bother doing that because I kind of didn't want to feel it. I didn't want it to feel chilly, you know, if there was a breeze, or I don't know. I just wanted solid sleeves. And the cuffs, as you can see, is like a turned over, it's not rib even, it's just knit, it's stocking stitch, then you do a row of purl, and then you knit some more, so that makes a really nice straight edge when you fold it and stitch it in. And that's how the bottom of the sweater is as well. You see. So it gives it a really nice edge. Maybe I should try it on for you. What do you think? It's a bit warm and the sun's coming through, but I haven't actually taken modelled pictures yet, so let me try it on and I'll see if I can turn the camera around and stand so you can see the length and everything of it. Okay, I'll probably be chopping my head off for a minute because I wanted to stand back and show you. It's just in the middle of my bum, kind of on my, well, not hips, kind of where your pockets fall on you, you know, below your hip. That's generally the length I like anyway. Sleeve length, it's just perfect. Just, you know, not above the cuff where it feels like it's too short, not too long, but once it hangs, it's just like that. And I knit this, it's just a round neck, picked up stitches. It is knit in parts. Obviously you can't get the sides matching. And it's the back, front and two sleeves, and you have to seam everything and then pick up stitches for the neck. So that is it on. Give you a 360 view, as I said, with the chopped off head. And I knit this, let me see if I can turn you guys around again, and then I'll come back. Let's move that down there. I might probably chop this off. I'll edit it for you. Right, I'll take this off in a second, but let me get just the camera. I did knit this with the thought that I'll just wear it in the house, actually, with pyjamas. So that was the sweater, and I just had to take a quick break there to delete or take some of the photos off the camera onto the computer because it stopped recording. But let's move into works in progress, and I've really only got I've got two to show you, and they're both socks. And I do plan on casting something else on, so I'll talk about that, because now that I've got my knitting mojo back, I need more things on the needles. The first sock, it looks tiny, this, but it's my usual 64 stitch. I'm just doing the gusset heel here, and it's actually, I'm following, and I decided to follow the pattern, I was going to say it properly, correctly, because I usually just use the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern for when I get to the heel, and I do her Eye of Partridge or modified Eye of Partridge heel. But I decided I would start doing the pattern. But if you have a keen eye, let me see, and I'll stretch it so you can see, this is not exactly Hermione's pattern, because I looked at it and did it wrong. So I was doing, there's a 4 pattern repeat, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I know, I think everybody's knit it. some point or other, but I've never followed this pattern. So it's knit a row, no, it's knit 3, purl 1, then the next row was knit. Then the next row, I thought it was knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, to the end, and knit 2, and I couldn't figure out why you would knit 2 when you wouldn't just knit 1, purl 1. But I was kind of following that, and then I got all the way down to this heel and realised it's not the right pattern. But I continued, and it's come out okay. It's just a little texture. It just looks super tiny, but I know it's not, because it stretches, and I do have kind of skinny feet. So the yarn I'm using is, yeah, don't scream at me because I haven't got the ball band, but this yarn, and I won't get too close because it just goes out of focus. I would like to show you right up close like that and then it focus, but I don't know how you get it to do that. So the yarn is from Susan, Desert Vista Dye Works yarn, and as you can see it's a stripe. And I actually won this in one of her monthly competitions, where she gets you to post in her group pictures. This year she was doing books, and so each month was a different theme. And the month I remembered to get on there, because I'd like to try it all the time but just kept forgetting, she was asking you to post pictures of non-fiction books. And I'm going to see if I can get it up on the, it's not my iPad, super slow. So I'm going to start using, turn it on. I use this Surface Pro. I guess I could use it like that, like a big, it's a tablet, but it's a computer as well, because it's got Windows on and stuff. And I'm always using it with the attached keyboard. See if I can get it to come on. But it's easy. I could use it just like the iPad and then show you the picture if it would turn on. I don't know. Oh, it's because I'm pressing the wrong button. I thought it was normally on the top. So I actually posted, it just so happened, and I think I put this picture in my Ravelry group one day when we were talking about books. So I think I'll be able to go to that to get the inspiration picture that I posted, and Susan actually picked mine. So, and I think she picks like half a dozen every month. She's so, I'll put these on, so generous with her giveaways every month. So let me go into, I love this thing, love it. I don't use it like this very often. As I said, I kind of it's more like a laptop. But let me see. Book talk, here we go. I know I put the picture in here. This is it. And it's Beatrix Potter. I had just gotten this out of the library, and oops, don't want to try and enlarge it. It's not a very clear picture, but you can see the colours, and she picked this one and then did a colourway, and she called it Miss Potter. So that was the book I just got out of the library, and this was just before I was going to England back in, before September, because we were going to go see the Beatrix Potter attraction in Windermere, or the Lake District, somewhere up there. And so it's got the mauve and the yellow, and then it's kind of grey, kind of blue. So you can see, isn't that gorgeous? So that was a prize, and I was so thrilled, squealing with delight. Now, other than the fact that I can't remember where I put our label, so I'm sure, I don't know what yarn it is. I think it's just the merino and nylon blend, typical sock, unless it's the MC. don't think it's the MCN blend. So what I was going to say, I'll talk a little bit more about. I'm using my Chow Goos, and these are US size 1, but they're 2.25 millimeters. Yeah, because you can get another size 1 US, and that's the 2.5, which is usually when I'm, and in fact I'll show you them because I'm using them on the next sock. So my normal is US 1, 64 stitches. I started using these and I didn't know whether I liked them or not. This is Chow Goo, and it's the Chow Goo lace, and I did have, I'm going to have to start keeping these as well because half the time I don't know what the needles are I'm using. So it's the knit red lace, and size 1, 2.25, yeah, you can see on there. And I wasn't sure if I liked them because the cable seemed rather thick. But the more I've used them, and I think this is the first time I've used them for socks, and I think I got them last year. Might have been on the knitting retreat when I went up to Buena Vista in Colorado, and we went to the Salida Yarn Fest. So I haven't used them, and they are super nice, pointy. Blurry. But I thought this was a little thick, and it's only because it's compared to what I'm always using, which was usually Knit Picks or my Knitter's Pride, the ones I often use, my interchangeables. But now that I'm using them, the connection here is super easy to go past, because half the time certain needles will, you know, they stick and you have to really push it on. Sometimes there's a little click there. And I'm quite used to the cable as well, and it's not really that thick, obviously, and it's really nice as it's really loose where it doesn't twist at all. It's usually just hanging like that. So I'm liking these, and I think I might have to get more Chow Goos in different sizes, like for shawls and things, just because, you know, I mean, you can never have too many needles and cables, really, can you? So I think some Chow Goos might be going on my Christmas list, and actually they don't have to be the interchangeable, because these are just the circulars, and they're not the interchangeable, and I like them. I like the connection. And so that is one pair of socks I'm knitting, and the other one, now again, if you were on Instagram, you would have seen this the other day. I cast on 2 at a time socks, and then I don't know where the other one is. Oh, it's in, I think it's in here. And then I decided, after getting the rib done, here we go, I think I'd done about this much, and it was okay. It wasn't getting tangled or anything, but somebody did comment and say that when they do 2 at a time, I think it was on my Instagram picture, it seemed to slow them down. And then I realised that I felt like I was getting nowhere. I had 2 socks, and I was only, you know, this much on both socks. So I split them up. Now, I was borrowing this cable from my friend because I didn't have I didn't have one with me when I wanted to cast on when I was with her. But I've since, and it's just, hang on, I just want to get that out of the way. It's nothing worse than, and of course I did it